And the good news is...
Good news, there's a monkey jumping on houses in the neighborhood.
When you do good for your community, we want to showcase it. Definitely put you on the spot. There's a high school teacher, LaPorte High School, Mr. Joe Ruiz, who is making a dream come true, and he's changing his community through his music. Good morning, Joe. Tell us what's going on.
So I am trying to accomplish kind of a threefold dream. You know, I've been writing songs since like high school, since I was 17, primarily hip-hop songs. And so it's always kind of been a passion of mine. However, when I became a father and a husband, it I kind of drifted away from it. But when I became a teacher, my students found a bunch of files that I had on SoundCloud just to kind of preserve, you know, an archive, some of these things that I didn't want to lose, old recordings and stuff from college. And they kind of pushed me back into it, you know.
Yeah, so what is happening with your music currently?
You know, it's pretty expensive to record a studio album, and that's always been a dream of mine. But, you know, as somebody who's about to have his third child, there's no way I'm pulling out of the family finances for a studio record.
So your students are kind of helping you with it?
They were like, well, what if we could raise the money? And I was like, well, hey, if we could raise the money. So we started a GoFundMe for the first song, and we raised the money in 9 days. And basically, the first song was released already at mrruiz.bandcamp.com. It's called No Name Show. I wanted to use the music, if we were going to create it, to do some good in our community. And so there's this new project that's being sponsored by State Street Community Church and the local food center, which is called the PAC Center.
And what are they offering to the LaPorte community?
Education classes, and there's going to be a giant community garden with all sorts of access to fruits and vegetables that is not currently there. And so the idea is to provide, you know, greater access to fresh produce in a kind of like an economically depressed neighborhood that wouldn't have access to that food otherwise. And so it's a really cool cause, and I think it's really good for people in our community as we kind of, you know, make it our mission to combat food poverty. And so I've agreed to while I'm working on this project, anything that I sell, and I've got, like I said, I've got my song online currently for $1. Anything that I sell is going to be split 50-50 with this charity, and then the other 50% will just go towards making more songs for the album that will, again, be sold and split with that charity.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
Tell us again how to get the song, how we can download it.
Okay, so you just go to Mr. Ruiz, that's MrRuiz.bandcamp.